Episode 4 of the engines that didn't sell features my Magnum FT-160 engine. Now this engine has had kind of a long and storied history, starting from the day I bought it on eBay, and it wasn't really as described. I've done quite a few videos on this engine. Now the reason this one didn't sell is because it is not in a saleable condition at all. This is an engine that I had run several times as glow. Then I installed an ignition system on it. I think that was the very first ignition system I installed on an engine. And I believe it was even the very first run of that when I had a catastrophic failure on this engine and the connecting rod end cap came off and blew a hole in the crankcase, as you'll see here. Oh shit! This fucking destroyed my engine. It just abruptly stopped. Something gave loose inside and blew a hole in the side of the crankcase. So after that happened, I think I let it sit for about a month or so, maybe not quite that long, I'm not sure, trying to decide if it was worth trying to salvage or not. And I figured, well, it'd make a good video subject for me to try and salvage it. Fortunately, a very good friend of mine, Harvey, had some parts on hand, because he has a lot of twin-cylinder engines, ASPs and Magnums, and he had some parts on hand that he helped me out with to replace the damaged ones here. So what I ended up doing was making a patch for the crankcase out of a piece of brass and a whole bunch of JB weld, and it seemed to work pretty well. I put it on the stand. I had taken the ignition system off of it at that time, and after I had patched it up and fixed it, and maybe, I can't remember what all parts I put on it. But I ran it one more time after that as glow, and it seemed to run pretty well. It sounded a bit different than it did the first time, but as you can see here, it did run pretty well even with that patch on it. So, I mean, it's a decent engine. It's definitely not something I would sell to anybody, and I don't have a problem keeping a twin-cylinder engine, because should I ever get the urge to run an engine again and it be a twin, I'll run this one, and if it blows up, it blows up. Now the bad thing is ASP is no longer manufacturing engines, and I think parts are getting pretty hard to come by for these engines too. So if it goes again, then it's just a pile of junk. But anyway, that's why I still have this Magnum FT-160 engine and why it didn't sell.